I made $15,000 in sales this last month in August. And all I did was purchase books online on Amazon and turn around and I sold them back on Amazon. So how does this work? What did I do to do this? This is honestly the best month I've ever had. It's definitely, it was exciting the way it was happening and everything. But what I did is back in, I would believe it was July, or no, sorry, not July, May. Back in May, I started buying high school textbooks because during August, there's a spike in demand for that. Why? Back to school. Back to school is coming on. So there's a spike in demand for that. A lot of high schools are, needing to replace books. There's also college is coming in, so I also bought college books. So both of those are happening at the same time. And August for booksellers on Amazon is honestly the best month of the entire year. Christmas and January is pretty close, actually. But those two times during the year is the best time to be a bookseller on Amazon. Like I said, this last month was my best month ever. I went through I had a great January, hit 10,000 in sales, and then I believe I didn't break 5,000 in sales for a few months there, like 3 months. And then I started getting above 5,000, like 6, 7, and it started climbing from May until this last month in August. And I'll show the numbers a little bit here. So this is Sellerboard. I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to check it out. It just kind of gives you a highlight of your sales and what you got broken down. And I'll break each month down too. So our current month, not really important. We're only on a third day. But the important one is last month. Made 14,000 in sales and really killed it. Got, estimated payout. What's going to hit my bank account is $9,822 for the month. But once you take out the COGS, it reduces it down to $3,300. And then once you take out my expenses for the month, which I did reduce a decent amount, but still not everything, it goes all the way down to $2,469. That's mainly because I've been buying a ton of Christmas books, and that's been what the issue is. A lot of my Central Virginia prep costs came out. You can probably see it if I come here. So yeah, I spent $698 on Central Virginia prep alone. So that's my biggest expense right now. But that one's gonna be hard to get rid of because I really need that. But you can see that my margins hit about 16.64%. ROI is 37.91%. So not bad, I want to get these more. I want to get these better. I did a lot of clearing out of some really old books too. So that also played a factor in a lot of this. But hey, we're doing better than we did last year, I will say. But you can see in July and June, I didn't get near this number. I doubled it from the last 2 months. So, this is the month that you're preparing for though. So high school season really starts, it starts in May. So you'll see an uptick in sales come May, and then it'll just slowly kind of grow from there. Mine took a little bit of a dip, not much, from June to July. But I think that's because I need to get better at my pricing. I don't vary my pricing. I just have it at the peak season for my repricer. So that's one spot that I think I can improve on next year. I can try to buy enough books where I can start low in May, sell them then, and then raise the price come into August. That way I have more sales coming in May, June, July, and then August is the peak. But I need to buy enough. This is the first year that I went deep on things. I got real skittish about going deep on books because when I first got into it, I went really deep on a lot of stupid books that I should not have gone deep on. And so that got me all skittish, and I went really, really wide on a whole bunch of books, but I never went really, really deep. And this is the season for August that you really want to go deep on. Come February, March, and April, that's the time to get on some high school books. That's the time to really hit it hard and buy books and get ready for August. That and you be careful going deep. Like, I don't want to tell everybody go deep, because that's definitely how you get in trouble. You get sitting on stock that sucks. But at the same time, you got to learn some lessons. You got to take some L's, and you got to lose on some inventory. That way you can find the inventory that moves good. That's the name of the game, really. And at this point, I'm making enough money where I'm just like, screw it. I'm gonna buy books, go deep on some, see how they perform, and solely for so that I can record it. Sellerboard, it records it so you can see how you did the year before. And so that's my goal, especially for come up this Christmas season. I've just been buying, books that, maybe borderline, but could pop up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm buying them, seeing how they perform, and then I'm recording how I did with each book. And if I gotta liquidate some, so be it. That's just, to me, that's the name of the game, But as you go through the years, you get a bigger and bigger inventory of, all right, this book did great, and then you'll be able to really take advantage of your prior information, your prior data. You'll be able to take more advantage of that. That's the biggest thing that I took away from that. So what am I doing right now to get ready for that? Well, right now I'm buying Christmas books. It's hot out. I've been buying Christmas books for about a month now. That's been my main focus for the last few weeks, and just hitting that hard so that December goes live for me. So I'm going to continue to do that probably for the rest of this month, well, until I can't find any more, I guess. And then I'm going to switch over. Right now I'm switching over to looking at what books did well. So right now I'll go to Keep a Product Finder, and I'll actually show it. I'm going to Keep a Product Finder, and I have this during season section right here. And it's nothing fancy. I'm not drilling real deep into it. The only thing I'm doing for the filters is right here. This is the big thing right here. I want to find everything that, for the average 180 days, it's been over 500,000. And currently, I want to see everything that dropped. I want to see it go down to 100,000. And this is only going to work right now. Like right now, things are still selling. They're still low. You can still find them where their sales rank is done that U thing, where it's got a bowl, as Joji and Victor say. It's got that bowl where you can find them. So what I'm doing is I'm just plugging this in right here, and I don't believe. Okay, yeah, I put everything at 80 and above just so I could find those really heavy hitters, But I would play with this number, because look, if you take this number out, you got 5,773 products. Like, looking through 5,000 products it's a little much, but you can play with this number right here. Put, if you want to find the ones that sell for 30 and above, but you can buy them on the off season for $10, then that put 30 right here, or put 40 here, whatever number you want the book to find. But that's how I've been doing it, and I believe that's the only filters I'm doing, besides books. Obviously, you want books, but yeah, that's the only filters that I'm doing. I don't mess with any of that stuff below. I make it simple, real simple. You'll be able to find these books. Let's actually, I'll put 80. Now let's put 90. Let's see what that does. So it just brings it down a few, not much, but it's gonna find these books that are like this one right here. Like, you can see the seasonality in it. Like, on the off season, doesn't really sell much. Unfortunately, the price though doesn't really look like it's doing quite what I want. This is multiple books. I would not buy this if I was anybody. I hate buying set books because sometimes you only get one book, and that's annoying. But it's gonna find all these books. Like, these books are one-offs. These aren't very what you want at all. No, no. See if we can find one that's a decent one. I mean, these are brand new, so they might be like good ones to track for the next year. I wouldn't say go heavy on them right now or anything. This one's a little bit better right here. This one looks like it's more of a college book, but see how it's going up above the Amazon? I don't trust that they're actually getting sales up there. That's just a repricing error for somebody that they haven't adjusted it. This one's a decent one, but I'm not eligible to sell it. I looked at it earlier, actually. Here, let's go down to ones that I haven't looked at. Right here. This one. This one looked great. Let's look more. What about this one? This is another great one. Here, let's look at this one. So, Animal Science might be, it sounds like a college book, but it doesn't look like it had college keepograph on it, though. So let's look at it a little deeper. Amazon's on this one too, but yeah, the price kind of stays up there. But you see that it's definitely this kind of raises in the January time. So yeah, it might be a college book, but it does look like it at the tail end right here. It has the shape of a college book. So it dips in January and it dips in August. And that tells me that it's more of a college book. And the price really doesn't dip low in the off season. So this isn't really a great book. So let's look at this one. I've seen this one before. I've bought it in years past. Doesn't look like I bought any of it this year. Let's see. Bought it at $19 before. Let's see. I don't know about this one either. And it looks like recently this book has kind of fallen off. There might be a newer edition or something, but it doesn't really show. But there could be a new edition even though Amazon's not showing it. But you can see what I'm looking for. Those two books aren't great examples. But the dips in the sales rank, which if you don't know is the green line, and then the spike in the black line, which is the lowest used offer count. That's what you want to look for. You want to see those books that are really reacting to that. I'm sure there's more filters that I can do to filter it down a little bit more. But here's the thing. I just need to find one of these, and I kind of go off on a rabbit hole once I find like a good one. Because all of these is going to have listings below them. Amazon's going to start suggesting books. Look at this one. This one looks good. Amazon's going to start suggesting books. National Geographic. I doubt that I'm eligible. Am I? Yes, I am. Nice. Okay. So this one looks like a great example. You can see last year it's climbing up. The green line's getting less and less dips. So that means that the demand going down, and then the price is reacting off of the demand. So the price is dipping down here to 50 even, whenever it was selling for 120, probably not up there, but 120, 130 range. And it drops all the way down to 50. And then for this season, it spiked even higher because Amazon went out of stock. Usually when that happens, the price goes like way crazier high. So you can see that this book is a great shining example of a high school book that will do well. And you can see that once May hits, the demand just starts getting higher, and then the price will start reacting off of that demand and it'll start rising. So this is a book that I'm definitely going to keep track of. And actually I have this is Seller Amp. I'll throw a link in the description below. It makes it really easy to figure out what price you need to buy something. Like if I could get this at 50 again, and then I sell it at 130 to be conservative, make $47 of profit off that. That's almost 100% ROI. That's insane. So this tool is huge for checking everything. But what it also does, my favorite part is I can just click this, and it'll auto-populate the title, the ISBN, the link, everything in a Google Sheets for me. And then I'll have this book ready to go looking at next year. And that's what I've been doing is keeping track of all of the books that I can on for this next coming season, keeping track of them all. That way, whenever it comes, I'm ready. You know, whenever like February, March, April, whenever that season comes, this book right here is gonna be lowest it's been. So like, look, January, lowest it's been. This is an amazing book right here during this time. January, February, right at February is whenever it actually kind of starts climbing again. So maybe even look at this book in January once that season comes. I'll even track this sucker. Let's go 55. If I can get it, no, let's go 60. If I can get it 60 or lower, I'll buy this book. Because I'm shooting for 50% ROI. That's my goal. But well, shoot, I'll get 50% ROI anyway. So 60 bucks, I'll make $37 profit and 62% ROI. And this seller amp on the back end, you can put in like your prep center costs and stuff, and that includes that in my profit price. So this book is great. I'm keeping track of this book for next year. And then I move on. And then what I'll also do, what I was talking about earlier, is I'll come down here and I'll look at these books. See, here's another book, a 4th edition. Maybe this is a newer edition or older edition, I don't know. Well, if it'll load. But you see it loaded down there. Usually it loads up. That's like a little keeper graph will pop up down there. And these will be books that have like the same type of graphs and stuff. Amazon's pretty much saying, oh, okay, he wants, high school books. He's looking for high school books. Let's feed him some high school books down here on the recommendation spot. And then you'll be able to go down a rabbit hole just looking at that, like going down there, clicking on a book that looks good on that graph that will load eventually, hopefully. But clicking on a graph down there, looking at that book, possibly buying that book, possibly saying, it's close, just tracking it or something. And then you go down to the bottom of that page and you look at the books that suggests, and then you just keep going through that way. And that's how I've found a lot of books that I've never found before just by doing that, because there's the world of high school books is pretty vast, you wouldn't think so, but it is. And then college books is even bigger because they got to make money and they come out with a new version of a book like every stinking year, it seems like. But who am I to judge, I guess. But anyways, but yeah, that's about it. There's links in the description, guys, if you want to check out some stuff. I owe this month's success to BookMine, honestly. I took their class whenever I was taking I was paying for their subscription, and they did a class, and for everyone paying for a subscription, they got the class for free. And I took that class, and Joji and Victor showed me what graphs I need to be like yes to, looking for those bowls, just like I was describing. And that really opened my eyes up to like, all right, these ones I can go deep, these ones I can't, like they really just broke it down with like which graphs you can really go deep on and which graphs you shouldn't go deep on. So thank you to you guys. But thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later, guys.